Welcome to another episode of our Stage Your Boss podcast. Today we are interviewing MaryBeth Luiz from Property Love LLC. Make sure you tune in and listen how MaryBeth and her company are really making a difference in their area they're serving, as well as what she's doing to help properties sell quickly. Now let's begin.
This is the Stage Your Boss podcast from StageYourBoss.com with the founder of HSRA, Jana Uselton. The Home Staging and Redesign Association is a group of like-minded professionals dedicated to revolutionizing the real estate industry by making a difference in the lives and businesses of home stagers and redesigners everywhere. Join us as we talk to the best of the best in this industry from all over the world and hear how they are using their training and experience to make a difference in the clients they serve. If you are a real estate industry expert looking for better ways to market and sell properties, join us for this podcast series.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of our Stage Your Boss podcast. We're super excited today to talk to MaryBeth from Property Love LLC. She is fabulous when it comes to staging and property design, merchandising for builders and some new construction, and really talking about, how she is serving that East Orlando and surrounding areas there. So can't wait to dive in. Welcome, Miss MaryBeth.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm super excited to just, like I said, talk with you today and tell us a little bit about how you even kind of stumbled into this. Was it by accident or on purpose?
It was a little bit of both. My husband, he's actually a realtor, and I was in the title insurance industry. So together we do a lot, with real estate in general. And back in the early 2000s, we started flipping houses. And I found a niche very quickly that I would go in and pretty much pick everything out for all of our flips. So it's just kind of evolved over the years into now where I'm staging listings and also staging new construction homes. So
very good. Are you guys still flipping property as well, or did you kind of have to put that to the side? It's hard to do everything.
Yeah, we will do it again. I would say around 2015-16 is when we shifted our gears a little bit and started doing new construction. So we worked with builders and investors, and my husband gets all of the property, and then I come in and pick out all of the finishings from the ground up, flooring to the roof, literally.
Yeah. That is great. And so that can take quite a bit of time. You're almost to a degree kind of managing that project as well, because it's not like typical staging, may show up. Of course, we've done a lot of behind the scenes work, but for typical companies, we show up, deliver, make it look incredible, and we're out the door to the next property. But this could be
this is a 6-month project.
Yes.
So it's a lot of fun, though, I have to admit. So I love it. And the cool thing is, in the end, when I get to stage the property, I have picked out the wall color already. I picked out all the tile, the granite, the floors. So everything that I'm bringing in complements what I picked out. And I have 6 months to figure it out. So
yeah, that's so great to source everything. Well, Who is your ideal builder? I mean, are you working with the big dogs? Are you working with the custom, or is it kind of that middle of the road, they don't have it in-house kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, I would not be opposed to working with the big builders. I don't currently work with any of the larger builders. I primarily work with the smaller custom builders and also investors who have a GC that they're working with, and they just don't have an eye to pick out this kind of stuff. So I come in and alleviate that stress from them. So I help them where they don't know what kind of granite, they don't know what kind of flooring is
right.
Popular. So.
And the why behind the what. You've studied, material selection that that allows you to make that decision quickly.
Yes.
When somebody else might be emotionally attached or involved, you can come in and say, look, this is the best for your price point, for your target buyer. Here we go.
Yes, exactly. And they all have budgets. So it's all working within that budget. So it's been a really fun process, and working with the builders has been really interesting because they all have different insights on materials. So I have learned a lot from them as well. So it's been fun.
That's great. Win-win situation. Well,
Yeah.
when it comes to price point and area that you serve, how can that range? I mean, do you have certain price points that you work with, or is it all kind of whoever has the project?
It's kind of all across the board. I definitely, like with my traditional stages, I do stagings as small as just bringing in accessories for somebody. They don't have a lot of money, but they still want to get that warm and fuzzy feeling. And, I'll go in and I'll do, a very low cost option for them, all the way up to larger high-end homes. So it does definitely varies.
So are you then also working, maybe have some side projects with occupied homes or vacants that it may be the seller contacted you? They're not even a builder investor, maybe a realtor contacts you and says, hey, I've got a client, I've got a listing coming up. You obviously have your bread and butter, but are those people important to you as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And a lot of times I'll find that it's normally a pair. There's usually like a mom and daughter or a husband and wife, and one wants one thing and they're like, okay, we really need to neutralize the house, and the other one can't let go of something. Maybe they have some custom window coverings or something along those lines, and they just can't let go of that. And they want that third party to come in and say, you know what, it would really open up this space if you take down those 20-pound draperies that have been up there collecting dust for 20 years.
Right.
So.
It's like an HGTV show or mediation, there's so much psychology and everything that we do when we do have to have those conversations of, all right, let's go ahead and see this as a product now or that we have to sell and
Right.
really get in that right showing condition. And so what services do you guys also do, consultations, or how does this work in your service range?
A lot of the times I don't have to go in and do consultations because the realtors that I work with or the builders that I work with, I've already established that relationship. But there are instances where I do have to go in and do consultations, and I do offer that. It's a free service. I'll just do kind of like a walk-in talk. You just walk through the house and pinpoint what needs to be done and itemize a list, and it can be very minimal to very, detailed, but either way, whatever choice they go with, will accommodate with their budget and with the time and all of that. So
yeah, so good. So good. And are you kind of a one-stop shop when it comes to also team? I mean, are you doing everything, or have you grown into a little bit of extra help here and there? And what does that look like?
I do. I have a small little team. My husband actually helps me a lot. He drives the trailer. I have proven to not really be the best trailer driver. So
it's funny how we have to learn that.
Yeah.
It's like we did not sign up to do this, but it kind of comes with it sometimes.
There's a backup camera on my trailer, so it doesn't work so well. So he drives my trailer for me and usually helps with some of the moving, and we bring in a crew of guys that help with moving as well. And then I do have a couple associates that I bring in on a contract basis. They're not full-time employees, but for what we do, it works.
Yeah, the extra hands, and you can guide and direct and kind of replicate yourself, and that just allows you to serve more people efficiently. And so I love that. And when you think about, what's next level, I mean, where can you envision your business going?
Well, what we talked about a little bit earlier, I would love, because I do have a passion for going into the new construction homes and working with the builders and having that budget and seeing the progression from the ground up. I would definitely love to expand that a little bit more. If I could get even one builder, that would be an amazing opportunity. for sure.
Yeah,
So.
that's so good. And the staging companies and design companies that typically will work with builders, and we know, again, they're all shapes and sizes on both sides of the coin.
Right.
But it comes to, not only do they have their models, but they also have those spec properties, that they just need to get off the books. Maybe
Right.
that they were just building and they have so many, they're funded for so many of them. And, if it goes after day 30, they are losing money. So I love that stagers can come in and, give a little bit of a mini model home look to those for a fraction of the cost and time as well. So that's something else I'm sure that you guys could jump on and help people with.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of our bread and butter, is this spec homes. So
that's good. I love those.
market.
And like you said, they're clean, they're fresh, and you just need to get a little bit, I call it's like first date ready, and people shop online. And one thing that I also notice with builders, maybe it's not in your area, but definitely we experience it here in Dallas Fort Worth, is they typically will give all the attention to the model, but those spec homes may not get photographed, and they might just show a rendering still. So really making sure that they are investing in the marketing of the property, which we know the line item of staging is under marketing and that professional photography. So do you guys have access or referrals for professional photography?
Yeah, actually, we do bring in professional photographers on all of the spec homes.
Nice.
So, and the other thing I did not mention earlier is, with the spec homes, if the builder wants the service, if the investor that's building the spec home wants the service, I'll go in and I will kind of document it from the ground up. So, and I'll make it interactive with the social media and say, what do you think? I'm picking out the flooring today, or I'm picking out the backsplash today. Here's option A, B, C. So I kind of bring the consumers along with me and make them feel like they're part of the process. And it's worked really well, because most of the specs don't last more than a week once they go.
That is so great. What a great idea. I mean, I know tons of people are watching right now. That one idea alone, that you can literally swipe and deploy into even listing a property, like coming soon. Hey, we're getting ready. What do you guys think? Just taking everything online. That's what the beauty is. We know it's with video. Oh, yeah. We know that it's with the connections out there. And you don't have to spend a lot of money. And literally one of our teammates just was hired by a builder because she has done so much for our social media that they said, hey, you've got it going on. So I think that the value that you're bringing to the builder relationships, that again could duplicate wherever, but just having them part of the process, it's getting their name out there, it's getting the connections, it's getting people engaged and excited about, like, you're literally telling a story of a home being built and coming together. That is genius.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're trying to do, is make everybody feel like they're a part of that journey. So
yeah. And are you charging extra for this?
No, I should though, right?
You should, because it's like you are a marketing firm for them. Right. That is amazing. So I love it. I love that you've taken that technology aspect of it, and not only are you providing product and guidance, but you're also now bringing along the consumer and getting them engaged, because they may not buy that one home, but that you now have a mind share. And so they're going to remember that builder. They're going to remember that you were the connection to them. So that is huge. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Well, tell me how people can reach out to you guys and connect if they're interested in any type of services that you offer.
Well, we don't have a website because I haven't really needed to set a website up. I primarily work off of Facebook and Instagram referrals. So far it has worked very well. So, Facebook, Instagram, Property Love, and then phone number 407-489-1112. And That's then great. We've got our email, and that's pretty much it. But
yeah, and we'll have the information online as well for you guys as you watch here. And any last minute thoughts, MaryBeth, as you want to. Obviously, we've got people that are watching that they may see the value of staging, they may not, and not only the staging, but really just the having a project come together. I mean, what would you say to them if they're thinking about hiring you guys?
I would say go for it, because a staged house is going to sell traditionally faster than an unstaged house. And every home that I've had the opportunity to go into, I love hearing the feedback. And most of the time they want to buy the furniture, they want, they're sitting down and making themselves at home. I mean, there's nothing more fulfilling with what we do if somebody just goes and immediately plops on the couch or pulls out a bar stool and sits down and just makes himself at home. I mean, I've essentially done my job if I've made you feel at home in the house. So
that is so brilliant. I love that. And you're right. It's all about, the perceived square footage, the value that we can bring, merchandising and marketing these properties to the right client. And it takes a lot of thought. We're not going to lie. This service might not be $200, and we don't want it to be, because the value that it brings, it's like, what's the ROI whenever that home we have selected? And I cannot tell you how many times in our career, we're going on almost 18 years in the staging industry, how many times we have had to try to save maybe a spec property, and it's because the paint color was wrong, or the tile just didn't work, or the countertops were just way too dark, and they just wanted us to save it. So to have you in, like, before the hammer hits the nail, or before things are really in play, that way it's from beginning to end. We've really made sure that it's looking great. So I love that.
Yeah, it's so fun. So
well, I can tell that you enjoy and love what you do, and clients are going to only love you. So that's awesome. If you guys want to reach out to MaryBeth, definitely do so. Her company there is phenomenal, and hopefully she and her team can make sure that your properties are one and done, right? It's one and done. It's done right. It's done once, and you guys will be on to the next highest and best with the next project. So thank you, Miss MaryBeth, and good luck in the future. We'll definitely be checking in.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Talk soon.